Good morning. Tim here with the Jacks of all trades and another Ask the Jacks, where you can ask a seasoned contractor and realtor all things construction, from business to building to best practices. We're here to help you build better. Today's topic is how to give better estimates. We're going to have 4 keys to giving a good estimate and 3 pro tips, so stay tuned all the way to the end if you want to know all the tips and tricks that I've learned in my 12 years of business of giving estimates. Some of the estimates we've won, we've actually bid up against people that were cheaper than us, but we won them because we gave a better estimate. And first key to doing that right here is give a clean presentation. If your bid is sloppy or if it is really hard to find the information on that bid, you do not have any chance of winning that bid. They're going to think if his bids look like this, his work must look like this. And I don't care if you're doing new construction, flooring, roofing, painting, or anywhere in between, or just handyman work. This is important for all of your estimates. They need to be able to quickly and easily find out what it is that you're bidding and how much it costs. It also is very important to make sure that you have your company information on there, your name, your logo, your phone number, your address, your email address, so that when they decide to take this estimate 3 months from now, because that's usually about how long it takes, they will know that who it came from and where it needs to go. They may lose your business card, but they will not lose the estimate if it's something they're really planning on doing. The second key, be very thorough on your explanations. You want to be very clear and precise on what it is you're doing. You want to make sure, like if you're giving a demo for a kitchen remodel bid, that you give demo kitchen cabinets, flooring, drywall, whatever it is you're demoing, including labor and disposal, right there on there. If you're very thorough on your explanations, they know exactly what it is they expect of you. And it's also very clear on what it is you're not going to do. And if you're going to be doing something like, I'm going to paint a room a 2-color scheme, I'm going to paint the ceiling one color, the walls another color, and there's something specifically they might consider that I'm doing, I will put another line in there. It's like, I might say something like paint a 2-color scheme, ceiling and walls in a room. And then if I'm not going to paint the doors, I'll be like, doors, if doors are requested, will be bid on a separate line, or trim requested will be bid on a separate line. You know, that is how I would structure one of the lines in my bids if I'm giving a paint. That way nobody has any questions on what it is I'm going to be there to do and what they're paying for, what that dollar amount there is for. If there's going to be more cost, they understand that because I did more work than what was listed. The third thing kind of rolls right in with the second thing, and this is super important, is have multiple lines in your explanation. If you're trying to tell somebody, I would like to do your kitchen remodel, and your estimate says kitchen remodel, $75,000, replace cabinets and floor and some paint, they're going to be like, whoa, that's way too expensive. I don't know. Or they might be that way because they don't understand what you're doing. But if you put, first, I do a thought section. These are all the different things that we didn't talk about that may not be in this bid. And then my next line will be demo, and it'll be like remove kitchen cabinets, kitchen flooring, da-da-da, be very, very, very thorough. Second line will be like install new electrical, and then I'll be very thorough on what electrical we're doing. And then install plumbing, move HVAC, install drywall, install prime and texture, install paint, install flooring, install trim, install cabinets, install countertops, drawer pulls, and then I'll have a thorough explanation of all those, including whether or not it's just labor and disposal. By doing this, when it's all said and done, they'll be like, wow, he's doing a lot of work for $75,000. And it also shows that you know what you're talking about and what it takes to remodel this, because you just walk them through every piece and every step of this. Another thing that, how I like to structure mine, and this is a pro tip that's not in the bottom here, so pay attention. The way I do it is I actually start with the first step of the process. Dig dirt for new crawl space, right? If I'm going to build a house, I'm going to be like fill removal, and then I'll do forming and prep for foundation, all the way down. And that way at the end, when I'm reviewing my bid before I sent it, I can see if I missed a spot, because I know how to build a house from beginning to end blindfolded. But when I'm bidding, if I miss something, I hate to go back to the customer and say, I'm sorry, I forgot to put in the rebar into the foundations. I won't do that. I just eat it, and I will pay for it out of my pocket, or I'll pay for it out of the profit. I won't go back and ask most of the time, unless it's something they changed. And so if you do it in order every single time, then you're less likely to miss something, whether it's a flooring project and it's remove base, remove flooring, prep floor, install new flooring, and reinstall base. You can combine a couple of those things together, but you get the point of what I'm going for. And once you have all your lines decided and you know how you're doing all of this, that brings us to the fourth tip. And that are the fourth key, and that is, how are you delivering this? Are you sitting in the driveway handwriting this whole thing out and bringing it into them? Are you running out into, are you going home and typing it up in a Google document or an Excel spreadsheet and sending it over? Are you using some kind of software to get it all ready and deliver it over to them? Are you texting it? Are you emailing it? Are you snail mailing it? Are you hand delivery? All of these things show different levels of professionalism and also shows where you're at and how your customer presents it. You see all these ads on the internet, and how they're presenting information is half the reason you click, or even why you might have clicked on this video is how it was presented. So that is super important. I personally like to email and text all my bids unless they don't have that, and then I will hand deliver a printed copy, but they're always typed. All right, so here we are, the fun part, the pro tips, the things that will make your life easier, not just how to win these bids, but to make it so you can give these bids faster, because we know how much time they take to give an estimate and how hard it can be if you're hand typing everything out. So tip 1, use a standard language. I have a standard language since we're the jacks of all trades, from flooring to demo to paint to roofing. I have standard languages for everything. Removal of a roof, a 7/12 pitch or under, removal of a roof, an 8/12 pitch or under, right? I typed out all the language. I put a lot of thought into how it was worded, what's included, what not is included, and then I saved it. So now when I build an estimate, I copy it and I can paste it right there, right from there. I don't have to think about it. I know the wording is proper. Sometimes I have to make little adjustments to my standard language, maybe square footages, or we're not going to do this section of what we normally do. It's not a full roof. We're only doing this little section, or maybe it's a garage and it doesn't need ice and water or something. I'll delete the ice and water line out. But these things are super huge. If you have standard languages, I can build a roofing estimate with a measuring software on my phone in less than 15 minutes. And I'm usually just as accurate as anybody that went out there and wheeled it all off and did all this, because I've taken the time to figure out how much it costs, and I have all the lines built up, and I've taken the time to build the language already. I don't have to do a different single language every single time. So that brings us to third, is software, right? It is so much easier to find a good software that will store your standard languages, that will store your client's information, that will build clean bids for you. So all you have to do is, basically all I have to do is enter in square footages or enter in price per unit or whatever, and I can build 85% of my bids without ever having to type things out completely, without having to type out a complete line. For me, now, I use House Call Pro. This is not a paid advertisement. I do not get paid by House Call Pro to tell you about them, but I've been using them for about 5 years. And whether you're a one-man show or you're a company with 40 employees, these guys have so many tools built in that make it so easy. I used to do the old Excel thing where I had all my languages stand up on different Excel spreadsheets and different Google documents, and we would copy and paste and build all this stuff in. But these guys, they save all your standard language, including the pricing built in. I don't have to remember how much I charged last time. I know that if I charged $65 per square foot last time, it's all in there, and I can adjust those prices. They put a very clean format out, and this is huge and why I like them the most. This is the key to what makes them great. They text message out the bid, they email out the bid, and when you're doing the work, they also have a start work function. Lets them know you're coming, and you can message them with your employees or whatever straight through there. It also has a clock in and time in software and an invoicing software that immediately sends the invoice out so that they get clean receipts, clean invoices. I don't have to spend my time writing invoices, or I just hit invoice via text and I send it via email. And then when they pay the invoice online, or if they write a check, I just make one little text saying it's paid, and it emails them a receipt automatically. I don't have to think about it. So these are the things that I do to give a better estimate. I'm going to go ahead and make a couple of other videos that explain how I come up with my pricing and how I determine what to bid. So if you're interested in that, please subscribe and get the bell on so that when I got that video up and running, you'll understand.